Hi! Welcome back to this mini-series where I try to make my multicam workflow as simple as possible. My goal is to record different videos with different cameras at the same time and trying to find a way to link all these videos and edit all of these videos with the complexity of editing just one single video. In this way, I can speed up, or at least I hope I can speed up my video workflow, and at the same time I can also increase the quality of my videos. Even if the judge of the quality of my videos will be you. But that's another story. However, in my last video, I've shown the idea behind the algorithm that I want to implement, and in this one, I will try to implement it for real using Python. If you are interested, I will link the past video in the description below or somewhere right here, right now. I don't know where exactly. So let's start with the coding. Okay, now what I have to do is merge all of these time clip list, and to do that I think that the best way is let's see where I can do that. Okay, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that anymore in the for loop anymore. So I can make another time clip list. Okay, this one in particular is the time clip list. I think it is really simple because I just have to do time clip list equal S7S clip list time plus and free clip list time plus OBS clip list time. And this is the complete time clip list. I want to print this time clip list to see what we can get. And we are getting this exact time clip list that contains all the timestamps of each clip. Or at least I think. I will just check really fast. These ones, how many clips here I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I want to sort them, and if I remember correctly, I think it is sorted the sorted time clip list. I think the correct function is this one. Let's see. This one is smaller than this one, yes. These two are the ones that I need. These ones are pretty similar. These ones are identical, perfect. 3. These are shifted by 2 seconds. These are shifted by 2 seconds. Okay, it seems it sorted them. But right now I don't know which kind of value I have here. I think it is a floating point value. Honestly, I don't know, but I have to deal with it. At a certain point I will understand. So they are sorted. Now I am at this point of this algorithm. I have to do this filter. And how can I filter it? Okay, I have sketched a little script. I don't know if it is going to work. And this is just a simple idea to give life to this little algorithm. And I've also created another copy of my real root folder. This one is the real root folder of this complete video. This one is a copy that contains for each folder just the clips that I've shown in this example, so that I can make things quite simple. Even if at a certain point I have to make this entire little program a little more complex. So I have to go in this one and delete these ones. This one is already okay, and this one is okay. Perfect. So now let's try to implement this little thing. So I have to create a variable which is len time clip list, and this is just the length of the actual time clip list. I can comment on here that command, and then I'm going to make a while loop, and I'm going to create a variable which is it is 0, and while I is less than len time clip list -1, I can do some things. Right now I don't remember how to make absolute value in Python. Absolute value, I think it is abs function. Okay, it is already implemented in Python, I think. So if time clip list of I, and this is the current timestamp of, for example, this clip, if time clip list of I and time clip list of I plus 1, and I want to make the absolute value of this subtraction is less than, I can call it margin, and margin is a variable that I can express in seconds. I would say 10 seconds. So this is a variable that right now I can keep 10 seconds. The higher is the margin, the higher is the chance that two clips are matched. However, for example, if one clip, for example, have T1, T2 and T2 with a little line on top of it. The last modification of this last one is 10, 01, and for example this one at 10 at 54, and this one at 10 at 56. As you can see, these ones are matched, and they differ by just 2 seconds in this case. And this one, I personally know, the algorithm won't know it, but I personally know that these two clips are different from each other and must not be combined. And to tell that these two clips are not combined to the algorithm, it has to check if they are similar. And this actual if statement does that. And I'm having a certain margin. If this one in a time graph is somehow like this, T1, and this is T2, and this is T2. This is T2, and this is T2 with a little symbol on top of it. They differ by just 2 seconds at the end of them. And so the margin that I'm using, if it is 10 seconds, it will be something like this. The margin will contain the shift between these two clips. And if I do the same reasoning here, I can see that there isn't any other clip in this margin. And so the algorithm won't do nothing. However, if the margin is too high, is too big, yes, I can make T2 with a little line on top of it and the T2 with the little s on top of it. The matching probability is definitely higher, but it is so high, if the margin is extremely high, for example, like this, that can also be matched with the T1, and that is something that I don't want. So I have to find a good compromise for this margin value. And for example, right now, I'm putting it at 10 seconds. If the clips are in the same margin range, I want to do something, which is time clip list of I, which is the clip that I'm inside right now. I want to make the average between the I and I plus 1. So if there is another iteration, the error probability is going to become even lower. At least this is my idea. I don't know if this is true for real, but I personally think it is true. So I'm going to try to implement this command. and I'm literally making the real average between these two timestamps. Then I want to remove one of these two timestamps, which is the clearing that I've shown before when I explained how I want to implement this algorithm. Clip list dot pop I plus 1. I think this is the correct syntax for Python. If I get an error, I will see in the command prompt. And otherwise, it is going to increase. Oh, sorry, this is the C syntax. I equal I plus 1. I think that the algorithm, nope, because I also have to check every time if the len time clip list is changed. So every time I have to update this variable. Let's see what is going to happen. I would expect that there are at the end 4 values. This is the actual first try. I don't know what is going to happen. Let's see. Oh, no. I've run the run script. I have to run this one. Okay. It didn't work. Why? Let's see. Print X. Maybe the values inside time clip list are strings and not floating points, so it is not actually doing something. And that may be the real reason why. Let's see. Is it like this in Python? It is not doing exactly what I want. That was the problem that I've discussed before. I don't know which kind of variable I have inside that clips. I think they are floating point units because I cannot see these ones that I don't remember how to call them in English, but these ones. So why it is not entering here? Okay, the reason was pretty simple. I've simply done a stupid thing, and I was modifying the script from the other folder. In fact, now, if I try to, no, not this folder, if I try to run this script, okay, there was an error, corrected it, okay. As you can see, now I have 4 items in my list. I can remove the float, perfect, and I have, again, 4 values in this list. 259, 562, okay, and for this one, 18, perfect, okay. It may be a little difficult to explain, but to me, right now, it is working. Now, the last thing that I want to do is checking if one of these T1, T2, T3, T4, the real values are inside these folders, and then try to rename the content of these clips with A1, A2, A3, and so on. So per each timestamp in time clip list, check inside each directory. So right now where I am, I have to print the folder where I am, because right now I don't remember exactly. It's os.get cwd. It's this one. Let's run the script. Root list there, so that I actually know where I am, because the other one wasn't giving me many informations. Okay, perfect. Per each timestamp, I have to enter inside each folder. So I can delete this one. So for timestamping time clip list, I have to change directory. So os dot change dir, enter into the real folder name, which is in this case the first one is A7S. Sorry, I have to create a list, a temporary list that I will call temporary clip list, and I will insert all the file lists inside the actual A7S folder. So I say A7S and also the M3 and the OBS. So os.change directory, temp clip list equal os dot list dir, and so in this list I have the files in that directory. Then let's try to do the things in the simplest way possible. If timestamp, I also have to update. No, but I already have the clip list, the A7S clip list time. So if timestamp, I have to create another variable. That's not simple. Temporary timestamp. Temporary timestamp equal absolute value. No, I have to make a for loop for A7S timestamp in A7S clip list time. In this case, I'm checking each timestamp inside the clip list time of A7S. Okay, temporary timestamp equal absolute value of A7S timestamp minus timestamp. So if I do another thing, which is for I in range, so that I have the number value of that, and for x in A7S clip list time in range, this is len of this one in range of len of if temp timestamp less than margin, and the margin is the margin that I've discovered before. In this case, it may be also half of it, but I will keep it the same. If temp timestamp is less than margin, then what the hell am I going to do? I have to rename something, but I don't remember how to rename in OS. I think that, okay, that's literally os.rename. What do I want to rename? I want to rename A7S clip list, clip list of X in, I think I have to make another temp clip name, which is equal to nothing. If temp timestamp is less than margin, then temp clip name equal a plus string of I plus 1. No, yes, I plus 1. And then break. I honestly don't know what is going to happen. Let's try. I don't know if it is going to work, but this one may become A1, this A2, this A3, and this A4. Let's see. Okay, there is some error. Where is the line? 116. A7S. Oh, yes, exactly, because I also have to change this one. Temp timestamp A7S. Clip list time of X minus timestamp, which is time. Clip list of I. Let's see what is going to happen. Another error. Okay, OS. Oh, I didn't place the temp clip name. Let's try again. Oh, it cannot find the A7S. There are always a lot of problems. Okay, I understood why. Because every time I have to go back. Change directory and go back. In this case, it is going to rename it probably. Okay. Every time it is breaking, it has to go back. So I have to put it here. Oh, shoot. Here. Okay. It didn't give any error. A1, A2, A3, A4. Okay, I forgot to put .mp4. Not comma, but dot. Let's try again. And something happened. Oh yes, oh yes. Now they're called A1, A2, A3, and A4. Okay. I'm pretty happy. Let's do the same for the other. Let's change this to M3, this to OBS. This is B, M3. Okay, this is C. Okay, now I don't know what is going to happen, but I expect these two to become B2 and B3. And this one, C4. Let's see. Oh, I got some error. Is it because every time I change, I have to do something like this? Nope. Wrong folder. Let's see. Nope. So now let's print, because I don't know in which directory I am right now. So when this for loop breaks, print os.get wget current working directory. Okay. That's more difficult than I thought. Impossible to find that one. So if it is inside of it, maybe the algorithm is not perfectly calibrated. Change directory. Okay, maybe, but just maybe. Maybe I have to do the for loop 4 times, but I have to do 3 different for loops. Let me think just a few minutes, how can I solve that? Okay, I didn't try it yet, but I've divided this loop in 3 smaller loops, and every time I make a loop, I enter in that exact folder. I don't know if it is going to work. In this case, I have to go in OBS. Let's see if there are other problems. I don't know. The algorithm is becoming really complex, and now I'm pretty hungry. I have to go to it, and so this is my last try before I'm having a pause. Okay, let's try. It says in Italian, I don't know why in Italian, but it says that the file is used for another process. Let's see if I close that window. No, it says it is used by another process. Honestly, I don't know why. File used by another process. But I'm not simply using it. And well, now I'm having a pause. Okay, maybe I've understood why I was getting that error, that permission error. And that may be I think I can blame again the M3. Fortunately, I'm going to replace it with this one. When I'm creating the clip list, when I'm creating the time clip list, I'm using this function, video file clip, that I am importing with this kind of library. And if I'm checking it, where is it? I think yes, it is this one. There is this function close. So to call it, I think that, I don't know, I honestly don't know how to do it, but maybe I can do something like this. Video file clip video file clip, like this, of clip dot close. And is that like this? Close self. I don't know if I have to put something here. Let's see if I'm getting some errors. If I'm not getting some permission error, that will be really interesting, honestly. This one can be deleted. Script. Let's try. I'm still getting this error. I think I have to spend more time on it. Okay, I've managed to let it work. Unfortunately, I've lost all these clips because that camera, for some reason, corrupted these videos. I don't know why, but basically what I've done was here. In this case, I'm opening the clip in this way, and as soon as it exits from this command, then it will close the video, and so I won't have any more other problems. I also corrected here from MP4 to MKV. That's because the video from OBS is in MKV, and there was also an error somewhere right here because it was trying to enter again in OBS. However, right now, as you can see, all the videos have this format, and if I run the script, you can see that at a certain point this one becomes A1, A2, A3 and 4. This one becomes B2 and B3. And this one becomes C4. So that's the exact same thing as I try to do in my hand algorithm. Okay, now I've seen that the script works, but I didn't test its robustness. And what I mean with that is that if I add some other files or some other clips to the specific folders, and in those specific folders there are already some renamed files, what is it going to happen? I don't know. I think it is going to work the same, but let's try. This is my copied folder, and this is my real folder. Now I have all of these files in the real folder, and I have to put all of these ones inside of this other folder. It's going to take a few seconds. Okay, let's do the same in M3 and the same in OBS. Everyone except the first one and the last one. The last one is the one that I'm recording right now. Okay, now I have, as you can see, in the A7S folder, A1, A2, A3, and 4, and some other clips. Here I have B2 and B3 and some other clips. And here I have just C4 and all of the other clips. Let's see what is going to happen if I turn on the script. Okay, it took a little bit of time, and there is A1, A2, A3, and 4, A5, A6, A7, A8, A9, A10, A11. Okay, so these ones were the same, and all the other got renamed, I think correctly. I don't know. In M3 I have B2, B3. Before wasn't in the clip list, so that's okay. Before, okay. And here in OBS, C4, C5, C6, C8, and so on. Okay, right now it is kind of difficult to understand if they are correctly matched. I can see that there isn't any C7. Let's see why. Okay, C7, it was complete. Yes, C7 was the explanation of the algorithm, so I didn't record any OBS screen. However, I think I have one way to test if this entire algorithm was working. That's because last week I've made another script for DaVinci Resolve. I can show you. I mean, I'm not going really much in detail into this script. I'm just going to tell you that I've used some API from DaVinci Resolve and some other Python libraries like PyAutoGUI to find some images and try to click on them. However, this script will check if there are some files, for example A1, B1 and C1, and if they are matched, it will create a multicam clip and it will synchronize audio video using a waveform function directly inside DaVinci Resolve. So let's try that thing. So I'm going to import my project, which is called root copia, which is the copy of my real root folder, and it made a fucking mess. Let's import the folder, and here I have OBS and free A7S. The A7S for some reason are all stretched, so I can de-stretch really quickly in this way. So they are de-stretched, or at least they are stretched horizontally. These are the clips from OBS. And if I run the script, I will put the console on and scripts comp. The script is called test, so I'm going to run the test script. So after starting up the script, what it's doing is the computer is trying to check if there are some clips that have the same number. For example, A5, B5 and C5 have the same number, and so DaVinci Resolve will create a multicam clip that has the audio and video synchronized of each of these clips. Okay, now for each folder created, for example, if I try to find the folder 12, I can see that there are 3 clips, the one from the A7S, and their audio and video are aligned. The same for the folder 13. For example, the 19 folder only had one clip. For the 22 was the same. And for the 23, I only had 2 clips. But audio and video are all aligned. This was my way to organize videos and try to edit them the fastest ways possible. Both codes, the one for DaVinci Resolve that I didn't show yet and this one that I've done in this video, may have some bugs. But right now, to me, it is working. I will check them until I'm trying to use them and then I will correct them. However, there is still a lot of work to do. In fact, for example, right now I have another camera, the NX7S, and the next video will be the repair of this one, because it had the SD card slot broken, but right now it's actually working. The other thing is, if I have so many cameras, for example this one, the one that is recording right now, the screen recorder or the microscope that you cannot see but it is in that position. Now, to let work this entire system that I've designed in this video, I have to press the stop button almost at the same time. If you remember, I got a margin of 10 seconds, but I have to press all of those buttons in a range of 10 seconds. So I have to go to each camera and try to stop the video in this margin. However, this is really difficult to do. I'm really lazy and I want some kind of remote that when I press one button, it simply stops the recording of each device. And this is the topic of my next video. I have many ideas, but they are coming soon. So, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.